Gents, this is how we're going to update our maps. All right, so the first step is to download and prepare your files. I went with Bimmer Gurus. I've heard of him in the past because he's done a lot of video and motion unlocks. So this whole thing costs about $96, and he will send you a couple of messages. The first message will be a link, and it will go to a place like you're seeing on the screen right now. I strongly recommend actually using the file mail download thing. I know it sounds crazy, but it did download about 20 megabytes per second versus 2. So he'll also send you an instruction manual, kind of like what to do, what steps there are. So the first step is to download it. Second step is to extract it. Third step is to write the files as shown. So you take it out of the extracted folder because it'll usually you extract to a specific folder, and then the files within that folder you're going to want to put on your USB drive. You're going to need about 32 gigabytes for NTG S2, 5 S2, I'm sorry, I keep making that mistake. And the whole file size is like 18 gigabytes when it is compressed, and I think it's about 28 when it's decompressed. A couple things tripped me up. I tried to do this on a Mac, and I got an error, as you can see, and it said something like the medium doesn't match your car. It was really interesting. I reached out to Bimmer Gurus. He said, Mac OS X writes some extra files and it throws off the whole thing. So they strongly recommend using a Windows PC, but he did say you can use Blue Harvest. It's about $14. I ended up not using it and just using a Windows PC, but it does look like an interesting solution when you want to write something with a Mac, but you can't have those extra files because it'll throw it off. So once you get that all done, let's go on to the next steps. Okay, you're going to want to use the USB pictured below. It is number 2. I guess some cars are different, but for mine, USB number 1 did not recognize, USB 2 did. I believe you can also use the SD card as well. Alright, so we're going to put the ignition into slot number 1. I hooked up the car to a trickle charger, and this is going to be what it looks like. It'll automatically start reading your USB and give you a prompt to update, and then the next prompt will be for the passcode. Okay, so now we're going to enter the key. They're going to send that to you. Alright, so once you have put in your key that you'll get in an eBay message, you'll get about 20 to 30 minutes of installation time. As I mentioned, I use a trickle charger. You probably don't need to. It's definitely not the 60 minutes that Bimmer Gurus suggested it might be, so that was nice and surprising. Alright, so after this update, you're going to have like a screen that says, please restart, and navigation. And that kind of does it automatically, I think. And then the next screen that'll be interesting is when you try to go back into navigation, it'll take like much longer than normal to boot up. Alright, so now we can see that the map has been updated, just in case you want to check out on NTG S2, like 5 S2, what kind of map version you have. You go to map content under here. I'll go back one. So options, map content, map version, and you'll get it here.